can't change past history, and it seems like every year, Chipper and Ronnie, there's one or two players who should go to the All-Star game and for myriad reasons can't. There's no question that Tommy Hansen's credentials in the first half of the year would be All-Star worthy. Had 10 wins at the break. Fourth best ERA in the league, lowest batting average in the league, but was the odd man out. What do you as players think the remedy should be as far as that's concerned, or is there a fix?
There is none. You know, I'm convinced that there is none. I'm still convinced that the reason that Boach took me this year was because he left me off the roster in '99. I won the MVP in '99 and did go to the All-Star game.
Yeah, but your production numbers have been up there this year.
Yeah, I understand, but you know, a guy like Aramis Ramirez has got to say, what do I have to do? I got 13, 14 homers at the break, and he was hot, and I had made other plans. I really didn't expect to go. Was very flattered that the players voted me in. That meant a lot to me. But you take somebody who you feel has been jilted, and there's somebody else pops up. There's always going to be. It's like, if you got a football playoff in college football of 8 teams, then the debate's going to be who the 9th and 10th teams are. It's just it's a never-ending debate, and it's unfortunate. I think Tommy certainly deserved to go, and if Freddie Gonzalez would have been the manager of the All-Star game, he would have gone.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And while everyone is certainly focusing on the Eastern Division race, a lot of casual fans might not realize, guys, the wild card lead the Braves have put together.
Yeah, that's nice right there. I like seeing that. That was one of the reasons why I got my surgery done, to be honest with you. Obviously, we're shooting for the top spot in the National League East, but that cushion in the wild card is something that's, certainly with the confidence level we have in our clubhouse and our dugout right now, we're going to be hard to catch as far as that's concerned. We really turned the corner. I'm going to tell you something, folks. This is a good ball club, and they don't need me in the lineup to be a good ball club, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people say that it'd be nice to get me back in there, but this team can win ball games without me. And as long as we keep pitching and those guys down at the end of the bullpen keep doing what they're doing, this club's going to win a ton of ball games.
Yeah, Chipper, the early 90s, I played behind a very good pitching staff, as we all know. And I kind of compare these guys, the starting rotation, to those guys because they're almost as good. Anytime that you go out there on the field and one of these 5 guys are out on the mound, you feel like you have a chance to win.
Yeah. And I think that's what we're kind of getting back to because, in the early, mid, late 90s, the whole 90s, when we took the field, we expected to win. And that's kind of what you've seen out of the Philadelphia Phillies for the last 5 or 6 years. When they go out there on the field, they expect to win. And for those 4 or 5 years, we kind of walked out on the field hoping to win. Yeah. And there's a big difference, and now we're starting to, we know that every guy that we got going out there on the mound every night is going to keep us in the ball game. We know we got a dominant bullpen, and it's just a matter of whether we score 3 or 4 runs on a given night, we're going to win.
Yeah, you know what? That reminds me. I'm still mad at you.
You're still mad about 95?
Yeah, I am still mad about 95. I was with the Cincinnati Reds, and we go to the NLCS, and you guys beat us in that series. Yeah, yes, you do. I know you do.
Well, see, you guys thought you were going to be so slick and load up on left-handed pitching. Y'all had David Boomer Wells, and y'all had Pete Sherrick and John Smiley and all those guys. You guys had it rolling, and we were thinking, golly, how are we going to score runs again? But if y'all don't score any runs, we can't.
Well, absolutely, because we just mentioned the pitching rotation for you guys. But the biggest thing in that series was Reggie Sanders had a huge year that year. Yep. And that starting rotation of the Atlanta Braves in '95, I think they struck him out 16 times in that series. Yeah. So that was pretty much it for us.
Well, and you know what? As we've seen here over the years, whether it's a struggling Jeff Francoeur or a struggling Dan Uggla, the big at-bats in the games when the teams are struggling, find that one guy who is struggling. It seemed like every big at-bat in that series, with a couple of guys on base, came down to Reggie Sanders.
Yes, it did.
And he just picked a a bad time. The baseball guys picked a bad time for him to be in a slump.
Well, you guys go on to win the 1995 World Series, of course, and then 1996 I ended up my first year with the St. Louis Cardinals, and we guys had you guys. See, I'm still mad at you for that too. So it's 95 and 96. 3 games in one. We guys had you, and from what I understand, you had a team meeting after y'all went down 3-1.
Yeah.
And you pretty much lit a fire under everybody in that ball club, and it worked. And I'm still mad at you.
Well, there was one guy that was responsible for that team meeting, and that was Dennis Eckersley, because he pulled a Derek Lowe. He pulled a Derek Lowe. I'm staying around to the next inning because I want to tell this story.
All right, that's as Chipper learns the broadcasting business. That's called a tease.
You can play big ball and little ball with, and with Jordan Schaefer, since he's gotten here, we've been able to do both. I had a conversation with him in spring training. He walks up to me, and I love this as a young kid. You know, coming up to me, he said, "What do I have to do to make this ball club?" I said, "Quite frankly, Schaefer, you got to make more contact. You know, you got to stop worrying about hitting the ball out of the ballpark. You need to cut down, hit the ball the other way on the line, up the middle, and you know, make more consistent contact. Utilize the gift that God gave you, and that's your legs, and he's done that."
You promised us to finish the story about Dennis Eckersley.
Okay.
I don't want to let that go.
Do I really have to?
So
oh, absolutely.
They beat us 3-1, and I'm sitting in the dugout, and Eckersley gets the last out. And I mean, when he got the last out, he looks right in our dugout, and he gave us the Tiger Woods fist pump. And I mean, he stared in our dugout for it seemed like 10 seconds, but it was 3 or 4 seconds maybe. But it was enough to, get up under my saddle a little bit.
Yeah,
so
which is a no-no.
Yeah, we went back in. I was like, these boys, if you saw what I just saw, if you're going to let them do that to us, and disrespect us like that, then, I'm not going to let it happen. These guys are not beating us another game in this series. I don't want them to score another run. We're going to come out tomorrow off of Stottlemyre or Bennis or whoever it was, and we're going to take out some frustration. And from then on, man, I think we outscored you guys 40-something, high 30s to 2 or 3. I'm sorry to bring up all these bad memories,
you had to mention it. But it's okay.
You were probably rooting for the Yankees in the World Series, weren't you?
No, I was not. Well, that's a good point. You get a guy that does that to your dugout. That's bulletin board material.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to stay away from.
Yeah.
Ryan puts it in play. He'll advance Prado to second with the second out.
You start to see him calm down. The game has slowed down for him, and that's been cool to watch.
Up the middle.
Oh,
Bobbled and barehanded by Desmond, and that retires the side. Chipper, great to see you, man. Get back soon.
Appreciate it.
The
buddy.
Buck
All right, guys.
Commander. That's right. The Buck
right.
Commander. Chipper Jones with us. Good ball game and a good man.